Hi guys, I am Stacey DeGale, physiotherapist from the Twin Isle Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and I am here to welcome you to World Cafe.
Hello from the World Cafe. Hi.
It was very exciting to go through the virtual platform, and really one thing that they've done nicely is they just put us in small groups.
Depending on where you are in the world, it might be time for you to go to bed, it might be time for you to wake up, it could be the middle of the day. You are all welcome.
As we build back better from the pandemic, it's critical that rehabilitation is recognized as a key to living a long, healthy life.
The scientific level is really, really high.
I almost got the same feeling seeing the opening ceremony like I did when I sat in Geneva in the big room.
Welcome back. This is it, the closing ceremony of the World Physiotherapy Congress Online 2021. That video was such an amazing summary and celebration of all the great things that we've seen over the past 3 days. And it's very bittersweet to be saying goodbye to you, but we've still got another half hour of interesting discussions and summaries and reflections on the time that we've just had. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Shane Patman, who is the chair of the Congress Program Committee. Shane, how are you going there?
I'm going really well, thanks, Jonathan. It's been a great Congress, and it's a shame it's coming to an end. It's gone so quickly, and there's so much more we could talk about. But
yeah, I mean, it only seems like it was Friday morning, and I was madly having an anxiety attack about the echo going on in the back of the IT and all those sort of things. But we managed to sort them all out, and everyone's had a great Congress. So, Shane, the reason why we've had such a great Congress is because of the fantastic work of the Congress Program Committee. And can I just ask you to just give a bit of a shout out and a thank to your fellow committee members?
Yeah, absolutely, Jonathan. And I think not just the CPC, but also the wider range of the profession out there, the reviewers who contribute so much of their time to reviewing all of the abstracts and submissions for all the different session types. Without them, we wouldn't have had their input and guidance to craft the program as it was. So, a big shout out to all the reviewers and the CPC, especially for all of their work, both for the last 2 years leading up to the Congress, the extreme efforts during this Congress over the last couple of days, and of course they're going to continue to work after the Congress and all the debriefing. They've created so much content, they've given so much time and effort, and of course we can't forget the fact that they've pivoted from preparing an online event, and they helped make the success to this online virtual event so well. They've also created so much content for the speakers, for the presenters. They've created all the online training sessions. They've attended the technical briefings. They've a lot of pre-recorded content, which has been really helpful in multiple languages too this year to try and increase our diversity.
Great, thanks for that, Shane.
Thanks to all those.
Yeah, and absolutely. Thank you so much for everybody on the CPC. And Shane, we announced some of the award winners during the opening ceremony, but we do have one last award to present now, the Pedro Award.
Yeah, absolutely. And so drum roll, everybody. It gives me great pleasure and excitement to announce for you at this closing ceremony that the Pedro Award for the best report of a randomized controlled trial is entitled Hormone Therapy and Exercise as Interventions for Postmenopausal Women with Greater Trochanteric Pain Syndrome, a randomized controlled trial. And the author and main presenter for that was Rachel Mary Cowan from Melbourne, Australia. So congratulations, Rachel and team.
Yeah, well done. Thank you. Thank you very much, Shane, for announcing that. And all the fantastic content that you just described will be available for the next 3 months until the 8th of July. So anything that, so it's a great opportunity for all the participants to go back and review some of the things that they've seen over the weekend, but also to get to the platform presentations and the poster presentations, because there's some great things there. But Shane,
so Jonathan, I might just jump in and remind people to, that's all available on the Community Hub. So please jump onto the Community Hub. You'll see the tab there that tells you all about the state-of-the-art presentations, the awards, and of course, linking off to that Pedro Award winner too now.
Brilliant. Absolutely. Thanks for reminding us of that, Shane. So all good things come to an end, and I'd like to thank you on behalf of the board, the staff, and the Congress participants for all your work as the CPC chair. So well done for that. I'd also like to thank, we couldn't put on an event like this.
Thank you, the team.
No problem at all. We couldn't put on an event like Congress without the support from our industry partners and exhibitors. And I was wondering, Max, if you could just play the short video of the partners now to thank them. Thank you so much to all of those companies who have provided support to us. And if you haven't already gone online to review our industry partners and exhibitors' content, then I would urge you to do that. And again, it's going to be available for the next 3 months. There's a huge team of people who are working behind the scenes, such as Max, who's been in my ear for the last 3 days, and who have helped World Physiotherapy to put on this event. And I'd just like to thank them now. So again, Max, if you could just run the short clip from the suppliers. So the team that you saw works across the areas of registration, IT, our online platform, and also the broadcast production crew as well. So thank you all of the suppliers for your great work over the past 3 days and the months leading up to that. So now it gives me great pleasure to bring into the call the incoming chair of the next Congress Program Committee, which is going to be in for the Congress being held in Japan in 2023. Jackie Whittaker, welcome to the stage.
Welcome, thank you.
Yeah, have you had a great Congress?
I have had a wonderful Congress. It's been early mornings for me. It starts about 3 a.m. and finishes around 9, but it gives me an opportunity to have a quick afternoon nap. So it's been amazing.
Hey, you're speaking to somebody who loves an afternoon nap, so I'm jealous of your ability to do that. So Shane, we've given you a baton and it's time for you to hand it over to Jackie. So there's the baton and it's time for you to thrust that out into the internet and, give it to somebody else. You're on mute, Shane.
Yeah, heading your way, Jackie, across the internet and over to you.
Okay, so it's going to take a little while for it to come all the way from Perth over to you in Canada there, Jackie. So can you see it yet? It came through. The beauty of the internet, that was a lot quicker than I thought it might be, but that's okay because
high speed. We have high speed.
Brilliant, awesome. So Jackie, what are you looking forward to in terms of your role as the CPC chair?
I think probably it's just building on what we've been doing over the last couple conferences. So I was lucky to be involved in Geneva and then involved this time as well on the CPC. And I think I think the goal really is we just want to continue to try to amplify the voices of people that we haven't previously had the opportunity to learn from, whether that be students or patients or physiotherapists that just haven't had the opportunity to engage previously. So I'm looking forward to continuing to try to champion that as we go forward to Tokyo.
Brilliant. And thank you so much. And just a reminder that if people want to be part of the CPC, then they can go to our website. There's a news story up there now with all the details about what it means to be part of the CPC and how you can apply for that. So we have a couple of minutes left before I have to hand it over. But Shane, any hidden gems or any sort of reflections on the last 3 days that you want to share with our participants?
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. I think I paraphrase Heidi, who gave us a great quote in yesterday's highlight session, and she said the entire conference feels like an inspiration session, and I couldn't agree more than that. And then Carlos from Ecuador this morning, he was up before 5 a.m. and he at that time was able to give us another gem, and that was that Congress always serves as an amazing springboard of self-reflection and advocacy. And I'd certainly, again, support that. And finally, just another reflection, this time from Tracy Blake, and really powerful statement saying the plurality of all of us is key to using our power, whether it's earned or unearned, towards justice and equality in the communities we serve and inhabit. And I think the Congress really has enabled us to have those difficult conversations that are happening in the wider world, but we have really touched on equality, equity, diversity, inclusiveness, oppression, marginalization, stigma, the big, hard questions. And I think that's been a great memory for me from the last couple of days.
Brilliant. And I couldn't agree more, Shane. I think those are some really important discussions. And, it's great that we've been able to have that sort of intense discussion over the last 3 days about that. And then, but you can go back to those sessions and have a look at them again as well, because I think many of them require multiple visits. And that's the absolute beauty of having an online Congress. It allows you to do that. Jackie, some sort of final reflections from you?
Yeah, I thought about this a lot because I knew you were going to ask the question. And I think if I had to pick one, I would probably say it almost came in the first moments of the conference with Andrea Wright from the United Kingdom, when she asked us to suspend what we think we know and open ourselves to other knowledge and other viewpoints and other voices, and really a call to rehumanize the profession. And I just found that theme seemed to keep coming back over the last 3 days. And I know it's something that I'm going to take away and think about a lot, both as an educator, a researcher, and as a clinician. So that's probably the main thing that stood out for me.
Brilliant. Okay. Look, thank you both so much. You both sort of described some of the focus symposium and the discussion sessions, but there is so much more material that people can go and dive into now. So I would strongly recommend people to go and have a look at the platform presentations, which are all uploaded, the poster presentations, and there's still the capacity to comment in those pages as well in the platform. So that's the great way that you can still connect with the clinicians that have written those posters or have made those presentations, and so the work will continue from here onwards. So that's a great benefit again from having an online Congress. So I'd like to thank you both for joining me this afternoon in the closing ceremony, and now I need to start my handover to Emma Stokes, the President. So I'll say goodbye to you and welcome in Emma Stokes. So everybody, I'd just like to hand over now to somebody who will be well known to all of you, Emma Stokes, the President of World Physiotherapy. Emma, the floor is all yours.
Thanks, Jonathan. Oh, listen, what great discussions. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Jackie, for being so instrumental in the Congress that we've just had, and Jackie taking the baton forward to the next Congress. If you go back and look at the opening ceremony video, the first sentence was from Ahmed Al-Najjar from our member organization in Palestine. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, "I have a love of our profession, a profession that holds humanity in its hands." And touching on the points that Shane and Jackie have made, what I have heard and felt and listened to in the past 3 days is a profession that holds humanity in its hands. Yes, we acknowledge that there are areas that we need to do better and to be better at, but we are driven by this sense of humanity at the heart of what we do. And for me, that's been a huge lesson in this last 3 days. 122 countries, physiotherapists from 122 countries were able to participate in this Congress. That is just absolutely amazing. And it speaks to the point in one of the first sessions that Andrea Wright raised about this idea of how do we work hard to ensure belonging. A Congress like this does not happen, as Jonathan said, without so many people's commitment and dedication. And I would like to thank the volunteers and our amazing staff at World Physiotherapy for their incredible contribution, their dedication, their energy, and their commitment to making this Congress the great success that it has been. I'd like to thank the participants from the 120 countries or 22 countries around the world for your trust in this Congress being as fabulous, if a little different, to previous Congresses. The pandemic has changed everything. And we will never go back to the way it was for so many aspects of our lives. And we will be mindful of that as we move forward and look towards Congress 2023. And so I encourage all of you to think about and put the dates for Tokyo 2023 in your diaries and encourage your colleagues and your friends to participate. We're now going to hear from Professor Handa, President of the Jpta, to tell us a little bit about the Jpta and about Tokyo as our venue for the next Congress. So Max, when you're ready, we'll have that video. Thank you.
日本理学療法士協会会長の半田と申します。ドバイの学会が無事終わりまして、次の2023年の東京大会に向けてのご挨拶をさせていただきたいというふうに思います。ところで、昨年1月に始まった COVID-19、いまだに日本では猛威を振るっているところであります。報道によるとヨーロッパ、あるいはアメリカ等々でも依然として、この猛威は収まってないかのようにお聞きしているところであります。この COVID-19 によって日本では我々の仕事の在り方もかなり変わってまいりました。本来業務である理学療法を提供するだけではなくって非常にこの COVID-19 で疲弊している職場、他の職種の人たちの仕事まで代替してやる、そして医療を守る、そのことが必要になってまいった次第であります。そういうようなことも含めてですね、東京大会ではぜひですね、みんなで新しい理学療法、新しい医療、そういうことも含めてですね、みんなで論議できたら楽しいかなというふうにも思っているところであります。それともう一つ、この COVID-19 に振り回された数年間を今後にどう生かすか、ただただ困ったことが 2,3 年あっただけではなくって、この経験をどう生かすのか、それをぜひみんなで考えたいというふうに思います。例えばこの学会にしてもですね、世界中から集まって一堂に会してやるというパターンでこれまでやってまいりました。1999年には13回学会を日本の横浜で開催しました。そのように全世界から集まるという手法、今回のさまざまな機器の開発によってそれぞれの地域で学会に参加ができる新しいスタイル、そういうものを生み出していってもいいのではないかなというふうに思っているところであります。2023年の4月、東京大会準備をこれから進めてまいりますけども、4月の東京というのは日本で一番いい季節、それは東京だけではなくて日本中がいい季節を迎える、そういう時にあります。日本に来られて、学会を中心としながらぜひ観光も、東京の近くには富士山もありますし、いろんな観光資源もございます。世界から皆さん足を運んでいただきまして、熱い思いをぶち上げた後にはいろんな観光にまた出かけていって一つの思い出を作っていただければ良いかなというふうに思っております。日本理学療士協会としましてはこれから2年間の間に最善の準備に努めてまいりたいというふうに思っております。世界各地から多くの理学療法士が日本の、そして東京に来てくれることを強く期待をしているところであります。2年後にお会いすることを楽しみにしております。ぜひご参加していただきたいというふうに思っております。よろしくお願いいたします。
Thank you, President Handa. We look forward to Tokyo. What we've learned from this Congress and what we will continue to reflect on are the things that worked well. the aspects of the Congress that allowed us to bring the community together, to allow more participation than previously. And that's really important to World Physiotherapy. At the top of our strategic plan, we say that we will be a global community where every physiotherapist feels connected and engaged. And, you know, I would like to add to that, a global community where every physiotherapist feels that they belong. And there are lots of ways that we can do that. There are lots of ways that we can be even more inclusive, things that we can do better, things that we can do differently. And we as an organization commit to taking all of the positive lessons from this Congress through to the planning of 2023 and the execution of 2023. We're very excited about going to Tokyo, and it will be a wonderful event. And for me personally, I attended my very first Congress in 1999 in Japan. And so it's a wonderful way of closing that circle. There's so many fabulous comments. I've been juggling a lot of different devices. There's so many fabulous comments coming in from you. And I want to really once again thank the participants, everyone that came to this Congress and spent the last 3 days, for some of you in the middle of the night, for some of you at different times, juggling work and family and all of those commitments. The activity in the sessions on our devices and also on Twitter just shows how much engagement was possible. Of course, we weren't able to embrace one another. Of course, we weren't able to do the hellos in the corridors. And I'm going to admit that this was a fabulous 3 days, but I did miss the opportunity to say hello to people. And we're going to have that opportunity in Japan. Japan is a wonderful country and Tokyo is a fabulous city. And I know that we have a video from the Tokyo Tourist Board to give us a flavor of what that's going to be like. So when you're ready, Max, we might have the video from the Tokyo Bureau. Tokyo is going to be amazing, and it will be wonderful to see people face to face again. It will be wonderful to see people face to face again over the coming 2 years as we emerge from this very tough year. Let's not forget that it has been a tough year. And I think what that has highlighted is what is so important to us as a profession. Imagine that we as a profession that is so ingrained in how we engage very closely physically and how we touch our patients, how much has changed because of that. And, you know, a lot of that is going to be positive, but there are losses. And I think we do have to acknowledge those. There have been amazing things that have happened. And I once again want to thank you, the community, for your support of the bursary program. It was unprecedented. We as an organization had committed to supporting it, but there was so much generosity in the donations that you made as a global community when you registered for the bursaries. That was just absolutely wonderful. I've always said about congresses, they're an opportunity for us to connect with one another. And I truly believe that we connected in fabulous, wonderful ways over the last 3 days. You've been amazing. This has been an amazing event. And we are, I'm just getting messages in here to me now to say that there are, you know, the way sometimes we get a bit of a drop off because, of course, you know, it's the middle of the night for an awful lot of people, but there are close to 1,000 people watching this closing ceremony. And that is a testament to this fabulous, wonderful professional community that I am so proud to be part of. And I know that you are also so proud to be part of. So remember, the content is available for the next 3 months. If somebody is feeling like, oh my goodness, I should have registered and I didn't register, there's still a chance to do that. and to access all of the content. We raised some very hard questions and we had some fabulous discussions in the context of this Congress. And I'd encourage you to use that content with your colleagues and your communities to move the conversation forward. We as an organization will be starting our new strategic plan, and a lot of what we have heard today from this community will help us shape that. It's a wonderful community. You're an amazing, amazing group of people. And I want to thank you so much for everything that you do and for your commitment to our global community and to World Physiotherapy. And I look forward to seeing you in person sooner rather than later, but definitely in Tokyo in 2023. And I'm going to hand over to Max for the final video of this closing ceremony.
Physiotherapists from all over the world.
It's nice to see that other countries are also doing like pioneer research and that there are stuff that overlaps.
Like even though we are same physio, but sometimes we are doing a different things, so it's quite interesting.